Alright, what's up, guys? You guys are probably wondering why I deleted my What If Naruto was a senju and an Uchiha, or an Uchiha and a senju. The reason is because I realized no name, the guy who was in Discord. He's like, I messed up. So I listened to him, and I'm here. I am remaking this video to fix my flaws. So just in case you didn't watch the other video, let me start over from like where I last began and all that bullshit. So yeah. Okay, so basically, Deku's grandfathers are both very strong people. And you're like, what? Who are they? And I'll tell you who they are. Just give me a second. So let me just explain this real quick. All right. Basically, Deku's mom is a senju. Alright, so Naruto's mom, Kushina, as far as I can tell, that's her name. And if it's not, comment down below what her real name is, and I'll correct myself in the next part. So yeah, Kushina, she's a senju, and like the reason why I put her as a senju is because her chakra chains, like as her being an Uzumaki, her chakra chains, like that shit to seduce like to seduce the Nine Tails and shit. Well, she's gonna have sort of like a wood style. But since she died a long time ago, she wasn't really that known because she wasn't that strong. There you go. And Minato, he's a fucking he's an Uchiha. And they were both adopted, so yeah, they were both adopted. Like they were both put into adoption, and they both got adopted, but not to the same family. Like fucking Minato got taken into the family that the family that he has in Naruto. And Kushina, she got into a family with the Uzumaki clan, I guess, whatever. Okay, so yeah. Deku's grandfather Minato's father, his father's name is fucking Madara, right? His grandfather's Madara. I don't know. Fucking hell, man. Shit. Bullshit. Fuck, I don't know how old Minato is compared to that old motherfucker. He's old, right? Alright, so I'm just... fucking hell, whatever. So, comment down below how old Madara is and how old fucking... Oh, fucking hell. Okay, so... If Madara's older than, like, Minato by, like, 40 years, then Madara has a son that had a child, aka Minato. And Naruto's grandfather for the fucking Senju clan is Hashirama. So you guys could already tell that Naruto's gonna be pretty fucking OP because he's the grandson or great grandson of the two people who are known as the god of shinobi. So yeah, first it was Hashirama, then it was Madara because yeah. So yeah. Okay. So the ship I'll announce later on. And by the way, I know a lot of you guys wanted fucking what's that bitch's name again? Fucking give me a second. Kaguya. There you go. Kaguya. Okay, so Kaguya, she won't be the ship because she's gonna be an enemy, and I want that to happen, like to Naruto, Sasuke, and all that bullshit to happen. And this picture, I picked it up, and like I had the person who made it was AKA No Name, like put the shit for me. He did all this the background stuff. Naruto was Uchiha and a Senju, and he did something else, but I won't show you guys yet because what's the fun in that? So since I got enough information to know who the ship is and like to And by the way, my next what if, there's not gonna be a ship because yeah, but that won't happen until a little while. And oh, by the way, some of you guys are very kind, like posting like very nice things. And I don't know if the guy wants to be, you know, like shouted out, but I won't say his name now. But if he says it's okay, then I'll shout him out next video. So right now I'm gonna go from the beginning to like the tuning exams, but like at the beginning of the tuning exams, like probably fucking no. Ooh, it's probably gonna be like a 2-hour video, maybe 3 hour. I don't know. I don't know how long I'm gonna go for it. But to be honest with you, it could be an hour. It could be shorter than what I actually said. But who knows, dude? Like seriously, who knows? I know, but like it depends how long I'm willing to stay out here. So, and yeah, let's go back. Let's start. So Naruto, the same shit happens to his parents because they obviously meet up. They have a kid, Naruto. Naruto's the spawn, or Naruto's the half breed. I like to call him half breeds because you know Dragon Ball Z and shit, you know, and Lucifer, you know, like your breed or like your spawn or whatever. Bullshit. I love the show. Like, yeah. So you know he's half senju, half Uchiha. So yeah, that makes him pretty extremely rare or like extremely strong because those two clans are the strongest. They were known to be the strongest, and yeah. So yeah, let me start this off. So oh, by the way, Naruto, he's gonna be good looking. But you know the girls, they don't simp over him because for one, because they like him, but like they're afraid of him because they kind of know the story of. They hear like everybody calling him a monster and shit, like their parents influencing them, like, oh, stay away from him and all that. So like, they would find him attractive if they didn't have the fear of like what he could do to them, even though he wouldn't do anything to them, as long as you know just don't go over your boundaries and shit, you know. So yeah, and just to let you guys know, Naruto, he's gonna unlock his like 2 Tamois in this episode. His 3rd Tamoi, or Tomoe, I'm gonna give it to him like I don't know when, to be honest with you. I don't know when. So yeah. And yeah. Fuck. Okay. Actually, damn it. Just to let you guys know a couple of things. I think this is how you unlock your fucking your Tamois every time you get like emotion and shit. So the first Tamoi for fucking Sasuke was him losing his brother. I mean, not brother, for him losing Naruto. So it was out of sadness of losing a friend. So he unlocked his Sharingan. And like, fucking hell, I shouldn't say this because I'm probably gonna spoil something that's gonna happen for later on. Okay, well, whatever. So Sasuke and Naruto will have like sort of a friend relationship, but like kind of like, yeah, friends, but like, yeah, friends. So this is how it's going. Alright, so Naruto, he's an infant. He's being taken care of by the 3rd Hokage. So as soon as Naruto reaches like the age of 4 is like, I'm gonna say that the age of 4 is like at the age where he starts like being able to remember shit instead of just going through the days and forgetting like the next day of like what you did yesterday. You know how like babies do that and shit. Well, some people, like some children, could remember stuff while they're in their womb or in their mother's womb. But Naruto's not that kind of child. So you know, the 3rd Hokage, he drops him off at a pretty good apartment. Naruto's being like taken care of. Yeah, he's being taken care of by like a couple of ninjas and shit, but not too many, like just like some ninjas. So you know, they take care of him. Naruto doesn't, like, he's like all friendly and shit because as far as I could tell, all all Uchiha members, they're all nice at the beginning, but as soon as something fucks them up mentally, they turn to the emo side. Wanna know how I know? Fucking oh shit, I fucking spoiled it. But you know, one of them's not the ship. One of them's not the ship. All right. Okay. So, comment down below who do you think the ship was. Like, be honest too. Just be honest. All right. If you guess wrong, that's all right. Nothing bad's gonna happen to you. None of that bullshit. I'm not like that type of person. Be like, oh, if you get it wrong, then fucking you're gonna get shanked in the next day. I don't know. I don't know. But you know, nothing will happen to you. Just like guess. I want to know if you guys are pretty good at guessing and all that. Just guess. And by the way, the polls, I can't do that shit because I don't have it. To my knowledge, I don't have it. So yeah. And let me get back to the story. So after when Naruto reaches like the age of 7, the ninjas stop caring for him because the third Hokage said it's okay for them to leave him alone now. And I know that the third Hokage cares for Naruto, like in canon, but he still cares for him in this one. Like he wants Naruto to mature and shit, you know. I don't know how Naruto got abandoned and shit. I don't know how that shit happened, but this is how I'm gonna make it. He just like the third Hokage wanted him to like mature, like to like you know go through a little bit of pain or not pain, but you know like go through a little bit of difficulty so he could learn how so by like he could go through some difficulties as a child. So yeah, he could go through some difficulties. So like after that, like later on in his life, he'll already know how to do it because he's been practicing doing that over and over again. You know, cooking himself some meals and whatever. So that's what the third Hokage is trying to do. You know, prepare Naruto in that way. And by the way, if you want to know, this is probably like the only thing I'm gonna spoil for you guys. If you guys want to know Naruto's like chakra nature, skip like 50 seconds to the future. All right, so Naruto's chakra natures are fire, water, earth, and electricity. There you go. So those 4. He's only missing wind, but whatever, it doesn't matter. And yeah, I'm not gonna give him wind, and you know the other ones that I did not say. Fuck, it's chilly out here. No problem, I'll get through though. Alright, so yeah, Naruto, he's going through his life, right? He's like going with it. He's all like calm and shit. He's a regular Uchiha, and plus the senju side of him. And as far as I can tell, the senju side is like it's like all happy and shit, cheerful, because you know, remember what I said earlier, like Hashirama is is Naruto's grandson or great grandson, you know, whichever fits. So yeah. And yeah, Naruto's 7 years old, and like he starts living on his own for like a year, right? And like I'm gonna do like a little side story that wasn't really involved with the actual story, just know like something that happened to Naruto that was pretty fucked up. Oh, okay, so Naruto, he leaves his apartment when he's at 8 years old. He's about to go into the academy to, you know, train to be a ninja and shit. And by the way, he does have the 9-tailed fox, so I'll get to the Mitsuki, you know, that guy with the fucking purple hair that looks like Trunks except with shorter hair. Yeah, him. I'll get to that, just give me a few minutes. So Naruto, he leaves his apartment and he goes into the city or like the village, and you know he's walking around, looking around. People are giving him like death stares. Some people are like just like looking at him like in pure fear and all that. And like some 2 girls right next to him were like whispering like, "Oh my God, that's the kid," you know, that's the demon. And you know, Naruto like he looks down because you know he's sad. And by the way, Naruto will be aggressive in this one, so like if you were to throw a punch at Naruto, he won't hold back, even if you were a girl. So he'll knock your ass right out. But if you had to go do something, he won't hit you somewhere that will like knock you out and be visible. So if you had like to go like to a dinner party with your family, that's very important, and you were to throw a punch at him, thinking that just because something is important to you, thinking that he won't hit you because he knows that it's important to you, that he won't hit you. No, you're fucking wrong. He'll punch you wherever you're covered in. It's like if you're wearing a tank top, he'll punch you in the fucking stomach, and like the tank top will cover the bruise. And he won't hit the person with enough strength to knock him out. No. And the Naruto, the Kurama, it'll be pretty dope. So, like Kurama, he's pretty cool in this one, but he won't be like about now at this moment. And by the way, I'll show you guys Naruto's Susanoo. Just give me a minute. I'll put it right now. You know, no, I don't want to do that. I'm sorry. I don't want to do it because whenever I get to that part, you guys are gonna. Whenever I get to that part, you guys are gonna be like, "Oh, wow, he showed us earlier. What's the surprise now?" You know. And if you saw last video, you saw. If you didn't, then you didn't. So, yeah. So Naruto, he's going through the city, like the village and shit, and he stops. And he looks to the left of him, and he sees a stand, and the stand inside has like Anbu masks. So as soon as you enter the stand, you turn to the right, you see a shit ton of Anbu masks, right? So Naruto, he goes to he extends his hand to grab an Anbu mask, and you know, one of the owner of that stand, he basically kicks Naruto in the stomach. Naruto gets sent flying like a foot, so he's out of the store and shit. And you know, but the owner's like, "Get out of your demon" and all that, and he threw a fucking Anbu mask at Naruto. So Naruto got the mask, and he left. And so Naruto, he's like clenching his stomach because you know he's 8 years old, so he can't handle a fucking punch. And that was a grown ass man that he got hit by. The man was like probably like 45 years old. And yeah. And yeah. So Naruto, he's walking and like he's walking home, and then like all of a sudden he sees like a shit ton of people in the path that he's supposed to be taking to go home, right? So you know he's walking down that path, but then like the people crunch up too much together. So like there's a lot of people, and then like they all end up like pushing each other, shoving each other, trying to like to go through their own way and all that. And then Naruto like turns to the right because on the right of him. All right, so like Naruto, he's walking straight, right? He's walking straight, and when he stops, if you were to turn left and right, there will be like streets, like you know, like paths. And in front of him, there's a path that's the closest, like that's the fastest way to get to this apartment, right? But he can't go through there because there's a shit ton of people shoving each other, and he doesn't want to be a part of that because he's already injured enough. Sorry if you heard that. He's already injured enough, so what he does is that he takes the right path, like he turns to the right and he goes straight. So he's going straight, and like all of a sudden, like his pain starts like it doubles because you know he's like walking and shit because you know like his muscles are like building up, and like the muscles are also bruised, so like it's like crunching up and all that. You know what I mean? Like it's like a cramp. So you know he's crunching his stomach like a lot now. So like he looks straight ahead of him in a path, and by the way, the path is in the forest, right? Sorry if I forgot to say that. But you know, the path is in the forest. So, like, he's far enough to the forest where if he turns around, he can't see the village. Like, he could see buildings, but only the top. So, you know, he turns straight, and, like, he's walking straight again, but then he sees a bench, right? So he just runs at the bench. He sits down, and he's like, and like in his mind, he's like, that hurt, like shit, that fucking hurt. You know, like my muscles are bulging and shit. Not bulging, but you know, like it's hurting and all that. But then he hears a noise coming from the fucking bushes right next to him because you know, the bench is right in front of a couple like bushes and all that. So you know, Naruto, he's an Uchiha and a senju, so like they're high. Like senjus are like physically strong, and Uchihas are like fucking, they're strong visually as far as I can tell. Oh no, they're lean, alright? They're lean. Or at least that's what I was told. So, yeah. So yeah, and then Naruto, he reaches down to his right leg, and you know, like in canon, Naruto has like a strap-on bag where he keeps his kunais, his kunais and his like fucking shurikens. Yeah. So he grabs a kunai, and like he turns around so fast that he threw a fucking. Yeah, I'm doing the same shit. So he threw a fucking a kunai, and like it went through the bush, and like like you could hear the bush, like you could hear the kunai going through the bushes, and like all of a sudden you hear like a thump at the end because the kunai landed on the ground. But Naruto didn't hear a fucking kunai a kunai land. So he's like, what? And like all of a sudden, like he hears someone like fucking like he just hears someone because fucking hell. He hears someone, right? So he grabs another kunai, and by the way, he's facing the opposite direction of the person. You know what I mean? So actually, no, the person's facing the same direction that he's facing. So the person's looking at Naruto though, but like they're looking the same direction, but the guy's looking at Naruto. You know what I mean? So Naruto, he grabs another kunai. He turns around real fast, and like he was about to stab someone. At least he thought. But then like the person grabbed his fucking wrist and all that, and started like. And like just like grabbed it with a firm grip. Naruto's like pulling it, like pulling the fist and all that. And he's like, let me go and shit, The guy's like, hold on, kid, and all that. And Naruto looked up and he saw. Give me a second. I'm gonna look for a picture of the guy. I know his name, but yeah. All right, so yeah, Naruto, he sees this, and he sees a guy holding his wrist, wearing the same outfit. And like he sees the guy smiling and shit, and like he's like, by the way, if you don't know who this is, he's like Shisui. So yeah. And Naruto's like, what are you like laughing at? And like fucking like Shisui, he's like, oh nothing, it's just like you trying to stab me with the kunai. And Naruto's like whatever, and he tries like to pull back again with his hand, like trying to like make Shisui like not grab it or like not holding it anymore. And Shisui tells Naruto like, hey, if you want me to let go of you, you need to like grab me, like you need to grab my hand a certain way and all that. And Naruto's taking some tips because Naruto, he's gonna learn a few tricks that are not from canon. Naruto. Actually, he's gonna learn a lot of tricks. Yeah. Sorry. So what ends up happening is, Shisui was supposed to be guarding Naruto. And if you don't know what I mean, well, remember earlier when I said that Naruto was a rare bloodline, basically half Senju and half Uchiha? Yeah. Because remember, if you don't know this, then I'm gonna say it again because I said it earlier, but just in case you don't remember what I said. Senjus and Uchihas, they're the strongest clan, right? They're two separate clans, but like they're strong. And Naruto, he's a mixture of both of them, so he has their strengths, both of them. And by the way, his Mangekyo, of course, I'm gonna give him a Mangekyo because what the fuck? Why am I gonna just let him have a? Why am I gonna have him have a fucking a 3-time away and not have a Mangekyo or an internal Mangekyo? Fucking that. I'm gonna give him a Mangekyo or an internal Mangekyo, whichever it is. Yeah, but not in this part because it's gonna be too soon. If I give him this, it's gonna be too soon. Like the internal Mangekyo or whatever. That's gonna be like in part 2 or part 3, whatever. Yeah. So Shisui, he's supposed to be guarding Naruto because he's one of the strongest Anbu there. And Yamato, the guy, the wood style, who could use wood style in canon, he was too busy doing his other stuff, so he couldn't take care of Naruto. So yeah. And yeah. And by the way, if you're wondering like how I'm gonna do this shit, don't worry, I got you. I know how I'm gonna do this. So yeah, Shisui just tells like Naruto like how to make him stop holding his hand, gripping on it. Naruto does it, and like it sort of works on Shisui, but if Shisui was trying, he would have been able to undo the hand flip and fucking just kill Naruto with the fucking sweep. But he's not supposed to, so he did it. And so, Naruto and him start talking a little bit, like, Naruto's like, why aren't you scared of me? And, like, Shisui looks at Naruto and he's like, what do you mean scared of you? And all that. And, Naruto explains, like, everybody's afraid of me for some reason. And, Shisui gets a little upset because, that's pretty fucking sad. And then he's like, well, don't worry, kid, I got you. And, give me a second. So, Shisui basically puts his hand onto Naruto's head, and then he's like, and he looks down at Naruto. Naruto looks up at Shisui. Shisui's like, don't worry, kid, I'm not scared of you. And, Naruto smiles, because, that's the first time anybody's ever, like, actually said that and not been scared or anything like that, hesitant. Yeah. By the way, the academy is about to start, but it's about to start. It hasn't started yet. So Shisui tells Naruto hey kid, how about I treat you to some food and all that. Naruto smiles and he's like, okay. So they go to, of course, I'll give you 5 seconds to comment down. Actually, pause the video and comment down what food they're gonna eat. And if you get it wrong, that's alright. I don't give a fuck if you get it wrong, as long as you're honest. And those of you who really watch Naruto, you'll know the place you're going to. So yeah. Okay, so Shisui takes Naruto to the ramen shop. So they get to the ramen shop. Naruto's like, whoa, this place looks cool and all that. Because at this point, Naruto hasn't. Actually, not. Naruto's been there before, but not too many times because yeah. And he's gone there and he eats food and he's all hyped up and shit because it's fucking good. So, sorry, I had a burp. So he eats it and all that. Yeah. So time skip. 2 weeks later. Oh, by the way, actually no. Let me go back to the time. Sorry. Shisui after they're done eating, Naruto tells Shisui oh, all right, I'm gonna go home. See you next time, Shisui. And Shisui's like, wait, let me take you. And Naruto's like, why? And Shishui's cause I gotta make sure nothing happens to you. Naruto, he feels a connection that he's never felt with anybody. And don't worry, it's not a homo. That's not the ship, no. It's not a gay thing, no. It's just a brother relationship type way. Yeah. So Shisui basically puts Naruto onto his shoulders. And by the way, Naruto has black hair, and he has he looks. By the way, if I forgot to say this, Uchihas, as far as I could tell, they're fucking handsome and shit and all that. So think about it. Sasuke, he pulled a shit ton of girls back in kindergarten or whatever. And Itachi, he pulled a couple girls. Shisui, he pulled some girls, I think. And yeah, that's about it. That's all the Uchihas I can know for sure that right now. But actually, I think Madara pulled a couple in his day. But whatever. But he wasn't interested because he's an Uchiha. They're like Saiyans. They like to fight or whatever. If not, then well, I guess that's how I'm gonna do it. Okay, so yeah. So they get home. Naruto Shisui drops Naruto off on he picks Naruto up from his waist and drops him onto the ground and all that. Naruto's okay, thank you. See you next time, Shisui. Shisui's later, kid. And he walks out of there. He's and by the way, Naruto lives in the same area, so Shisui's walking out of that dark place, and he leaves, goes down the stairs, leaves. There you go. Naruto, he goes back to his bed. He smiles. He's I finally made a friend, and he goes to sleep. There you go. That's it. That's all that happens. There you go. And time skip. 2 days later, Shisui and Naruto have been hanging out. They've been becoming friends. Some might say brothers. I got you, brother. I'm kidding. I have a fucking nasty ass voice, so I don't want to sing. So, did I do something? Cool. Alright, so yeah. The Shisui asked Naruto, yo, want to train with me? I could teach you a couple things. And Naruto's no, it's okay. I don't want to take up any of your space or any of your time or anything like that. Shisui's no, it's alright. Nothing to worry about. And I'm pretty sure Shisui's fucking 15, 16 or whatever. And Itachi's 15, 14. But once Naruto's fucking 13. They're like, they should be like in their 18s, like their their late teens and whatever. My 20s, I don't know, I don't know their actual ages, so. Ooh, dude, yesterday my fucking finger got, my thumb, I was out here in the cold for so long that my thumb literally got numb. Like, I tried to close it and it wouldn't close. I tried to crush something, my thumb will like put a little pressure on it and that's it. And like I try to spread my thumbs, I try to spread my thumb and my index finger far, but I couldn't because it was like frozen shit. Yeah, that was weird. I thought I did some permanent damage to my finger. Oh, I cracked my back. So yeah, let me get back to the story because you guys aren't here to hear me explain what happened to me yesterday. So, 2 days, actually no, Naruto and him are walking into the forest. They go into the forest, and, there's, like, and, Naruto's like, okay, so what are we gonna do? And, Shisui's like, the Shadow Clone Jutsu. So, honestly, I don't know, actually, okay, yeah. So, Naruto, he tries to do, Shisui does 4 Shadow Clones, and, like, they all, like, do different positions. Like, one of them stands up straight. The other one stands like a little bit to the side. Like his legs are like slit, like like they're not even and all that or whatever. And another one, he's doing a Hisoka position. And if you know what a Hisoka position is, like how like girls like stand and all that. Like when they stand, like they lower their like leg, like their whatever leg a little bit, and like they put their hands on their on their waists and all that. And like the other one's just standing straight with the thumbs up. Naruto's like, whoa, that's cool. And he tries to do the fucking Shadow Clone. He does one, but like the Shadow Clone is like him and the Shadow Clone are breathing heavily, and like the Shadow Clone disappears. There you go. Actually no, that's too overpowered. Actually no. So yeah, Naruto tries to do a Shadow Clone, and Naruto somewhat does a Shadow Clone, so like it basically ends up like how it ended up in canon. So like when he did it, it was on the ground, pale as a motherfucker, tired. Naruto was just standing there tired, like gasping for air and shit. Yeah. So 2 weeks later, Naruto he's going to school, and Hisoka, Aruka, there you go. Aruka, there you go. Yeah. Aruka Sensei, fuck, his name's hard. Aruka Sensei, right? Aruka Sensei, he's like teaching them, like he's like telling them, like, hey, grab these shurikens and like throw them at the targets. So first it like like how they take rows and all that, like 4 people go up, they do this, and like 4 people and all that. So like basically Naruto and Sasuke and then like Shikamaru and then Shoji, they go up. They're the first ones to go. Everybody doesn't like Naruto because their parents told them to stay away from him. So like remember what I said earlier, and I'm pretty sure I said this earlier. If I didn't, then I'm gonna repeat it. So the kids, they don't like, the girls, they see Naruto and like they would find him attractive, but like they're too into fear about what their parents said. You know what I mean? Like their parents put so much fear into them about Naruto that they don't even take a good glimpse at him. They just like see him, and like they just see like fear and all that. You know what I mean? And but like Shikamaru and Shoji, they become like friends and all that shit. And Sasuke will be sort of a friend to Naruto, but like later on. And by the way, I'm gonna do a little scene in 18+ that won't have to do anything with the ship, but it's just experience for Naruto, so he could get that, like oh, I should do this, tips and all that, like the first girl's gonna give him tips about how to do this, how to do that, like what is a better way to do that, you should like twist the nipple and all that, yeah, I like that type of stuff. So yeah. And so first Sasuke goes, because they gotta keep track of everybody. So Sasuke goes, he throws his shuriken, he gets remember how like there's like the red circle, and like outside that, like another white, like a white circle, then another one, then another one. So like there are 4 rows, 3 white circles, and 1 red whole circle. So yeah, Sasuke gets 1 kunai into the fucking circle, or a shuriken, whatever. A shuriken, yeah, the shuriken, those, like those shits, like you fucking flick, and like they just start like ninja stars or whatever, shurikens. I think. So you know he throws a shuriken, it goes in the red spot. Sorry. He throws a shuriken and it hits the fucking red spot and all that. And yeah.
Dude, you're freaking out.
Hmm.
Were you freaking out just now? You were like, what the hell is that sound?
Sorry, I had to take care of some business with my older brother. He played a prank on me, and that was not funny at all, dude. He fucked with me really badly, and like that actually fucking scared me. And yeah. So yeah, sorry, I had to drink water. So okay, so yeah, and then it's Naruto. No, actually no. Sasuke, he throws the 3 other kunais because the 3 other shurikens, because they got a total of 3 shurikens. 4 shurikens. Sorry. Sasuke landed 1 shuriken into the fucking red zone, and then like the other ones got into like the 2nd and 3rd. Then Naruto, and remember, Naruto's been training under fucking Shisui, because yeah, Shisui's fucking strong. He's good at what he does. So you know, Naruto, he goes up there. Everybody's like kind of booing him and all that. Sakura, she's gonna be a lot more of a bitch in this one, so she'll hit Naruto for no damn reason. She'll be like, "Stop looking at Sasuke," and throw like a fucking punch at him. But then, yeah, like fucking, yeah, that type of shit. But I'm gonna change Naruto up a lot, more aggressive and shit. Just give me some time to do a little bit of development. And like what's gonna cause the development. Yeah. And then like Naruto goes up, Sakura, she's booing him, and she's like, "What? Like Naruto, stop! You're gonna fail. Like you're gonna fail, and you're gonna be a loser." And then like Shikamaru's like, "Quiet, Sakura." He's like, so like, fuck no. Iruka Sensei's like, quiet Sakura, like quiet. And Sakura, she stays quiet because she doesn't disrespect teachers, she just disrespects Naruto. And yeah. So yeah. Fuck, I had to take a little breather. Alright, so Naruto, he goes into a kunai a shuriken throwing stance. So he throws the first shuriken, it hits the center of the red dot, and everybody's kind of shocked because they weren't expecting Naruto to do that. Iruka Sensei especially, because he wasn't expecting Naruto to do that good. So yeah, and then fucking Sakura, she's like, "Well, whatever, that's good luck. Sasuke's gonna do better than you every time you try," and all that. And Naruto throws again. It hits a little bit more to the right, but it's still in the red. It's still in the red zone. And Sakura, she's like angry, so she's like, "Whatever, Naruto, you're still a loser." So she's basically a Bakugo and Uraraka combined. So she has the bitchiness of Uraraka and the bubbly personality towards anybody else, but not Naruto. And well, by the way, comment down below if you want me to switch the teams up, or like take Sakura out of the team and put someone else. Actually, no, I'm gonna put some drama in here, just like to get a little bit more spicy during the shit. So yeah. And then Naruto, and then Shikamaru shows you like they're like cheering Deku on, like Naruto on. Sorry, I said Deku, but I meant to say Naruto. They're like, "Whoa, Naruto, you're good." And and the show just like, "Go again, Naruto, get the red spot." And Naruto throws it again. He gets the red spot again. Fucking Sakura, she's pissed off. She's like, she looks away and scowls and all that. She's like, yeah, whatever. He did pretty good, I guess. she's not much of a bitch like Sakura is, but you know, it's still sort of like that. Like, she's willing to admit that Naruto's pretty good, but like not to the point where like, oh, you're so good, Naruto. Just like, oh, you're pretty good, you're decent. And the other girls, oh, Hinata, she's like, oh wow, Naruto, you're pretty good and all that. In this one, she's not gonna be the shit. So she has more confidence to talk to Naruto. So she's like, oh well, Naruto, you're pretty good. And then yeah. And Naruto, he goes to throw another shuriken, but then he throws a shuriken. And like he accidentally messed up on his fingering position, so it tilted the fucking shuriken. Yeah, whatever. You know, the throwing little blade. You know, like not the little blade, but like the ninja star or whatever. He accidentally, when he threw that, like you know, like when you like you throw your arm, and like at the end, you like flick your finger, like your wrist, to like give it an extra boost. Well, he did that, but like he lifted up his index finger a little too high, so the it bumped the shuriken, and like the shuriken went straight at the last second. As soon as it was about to hit the red, it made a 360, fucking did a whole tornado, caused a hurricane, boom, everybody dead. Just kidding. You know, it just went straight, made a little 360, then hit the white part. And you know, everybody started cheering like, whoa. Actually, not everybody's like, whatever, that's pretty cool. Sasuke, Shoji, and Shikamaru were like, whoa, Naruto, you're pretty good. And you know, Naruto like he's still cheerful because nothing happened to him to change his fucking, to change him fit like mentally and shit, you know, to like fuck him up. Like how it did Sasuke, Itachi, and Madara. So, okay. Yeah. So, yeah. Sakura sees that Naruto's talking to like fucking to Sasuke, so you know she rushes at Naruto, and she's like get away from him, Naruto. She throws a punch at Naruto. It hits Naruto. Naruto gets sent flying. He gets hit in the ribs though, brother. He got hit in the ribs. He got sent flying, and he got sent flying like 2 steps, alright, like 2 steps worth. And you know, he's not a crier, so he just like stands up and he's like, what was that for? And you know, she's like don't talk to Sasuke. Sasuke's a little annoyed by this, so he tells her like, yo, back off, dude, like seriously, what the fuck? I don't know you, first of all. And about like, this is their first day, so yeah, Sakura, she's like, she hates Naruto by nature, and she likes Sasuke because, you know, he looks cool. Sorry, my fucking fingers. Just the same shit that happened to me yesterday is happening today, right now. Yeah. And what ends up happening is, you know, the school ends and all that. Naruto got like top scores and all that. And then he got top scores. The only thing he didn't get like a good score in was I don't fucking know. Naruto's a prodigy, alright? He's a natural prodigy. He's like Itachi. You know, fuck it, dude. Should I make him an Anbu? Hey, yo, comment down below if you want me to make him into the Anbu, like, get him into the Anbu, but, like, don't worry, this will only be, like, for a good 40 minutes of my time, and then I'll take him out because, you know, he's been going through anger issues or, like, you know, like, struggling or whatever, you know, just, like, he can't take it anymore, or something like that. I don't know, like, I don't fucking know. I don't know how people get their Mangekyou Sharingan or like internal or whatever, but I'm gonna make on my own way. So yeah. So you know, Naruto, like, he goes out of school, he goes to like Shisui and him meet up at the fucking ramen shop. They eat ramen, they train. And at this point, by the way, at this point, Shisui's been teaching Naruto. Actually, no, Naruto, fucking hell. Shisui brought up something like, hey, Naruto, before we start training, Naruto, like, yeah. Shisui brought up a thin piece of paper. And then he's like, oh, okay. Oh, and by the way, sorry, I forgot to tell you this. But Trojan? No, that's a condom. No, that's a brand of condom. No, sorry. The third Hokage, or whatever his name, I'm pretty sure it starts with a TR, true. But there are very few people who know that he's a half-breed. An Uchiha and a senju. It's obviously the third Hokage, the Danzo, and Itachi, because, yeah, he's that skilled at what he does and shit. Shisui, and the fucking the motherfucker Yamato, the one with the wood. Him. He basically he's gonna teach Naruto how to do the wood style and shit, but like not yet. So Shisui brings up those papers that like you put your chakra into it and like it bends or like it gets wet or like something happens to it to like determine your chakra nature. So yeah. Hold on, give me a second, cause I don't. Give me a second. I need to search up how that shit works. Whatever. I'm gonna say this is how it happens. All right. So I'm not sure if this is how it really happens. Whatever. So Naruto grabs a piece of paper and like he's told to put some chakra into the paper, and he's like, okay, I guess. So he puts the chakra into the paper and like the paper it catches on fire, and then like all of a sudden it splashes into water, and then like all of a sudden electricity surrounds it, and then all of a sudden it turns to rock and then disappears. There you go. So if you're wondering, like, I don't know if this really is the way, but that's how he's gonna find out he has four. This is the way he's gonna find out he has four chakra natures, and yeah. Ooh, back to the story. So, woo. If you guys saw that, you guys could probably guess what that is. Yeah. So, basically, like, Shisui's, like, stunned by this because he was trying to figure out if, like, Naruto had, like, both sides of the Uchiha members, like, fucking, like, chakra natures, and, like, he wanted to see if he had all four of them, or, like, just at least missing one. Sorry, I'm back. I was gone for a pretty long time, and it's now, like, 11. Okay, so where I left off was they were talking about chakra nature papers. So what ends up happening to Naruto's is it splits in like whatever the same shit that like how it determines the chakra nature in Naruto, how it determines this. So yeah, just imagine basically all the chakra natures except wind. Just all the shit that happens to the chakra, the paper. Imagine it happening to the paper, right? Just like minus the cut in half, which is wind. I don't know how to explain it, but whatever. So they're training and all that. Fucking Shisui's teaching. Fucking dogs. Shisui's teaching Naruto how to do fireball jutsu, which is an Uchiha move or Uchiha fucking whatever. So Naruto's being trained in that, and like yeah, like he does it. He's like fireball jutsu. He does it. It's a like sort of a small, not small actually. It's like a fire style ball that's like half his size. Actually, no, like about his size. So the fireball was his size, and like, yeah. And then Shuzui's like, well, you're a natural, and then they're training, and Shisui could only teach Naruto stuff about the fire style. So Naruto only knows the fire style for now, but he'll learn more moves later on. And Naruto's gonna be, a lot stronger in this one because, yeah. And the Nine Tails, he's gonna be awakened later on in the series. Naruto won't know about it, but like he'll talk to the Nine Tails, but the Nine Tails will offer him some power, but Naruto won't. He might take it. So, and yeah, they train. A couple weeks passed, and Deku's in class. I mean, nothing. Fuck. Naruto's in class. He's doing an assignment. Iruka Sensei gave him gave them all tests to see where they are at. And Naruto takes the test, and he's pretty smart, but he's not that smart. So on the sheet there's two sides to it. So one side has eight answers, 8 questions, and the other one has 7. No, sorry. So Naruto's doing his paper, but then they fucking Sakura. Sorry if you heard that. A few seconds ago. So Sakura, she's getting annoyed because she has to sit next to she likes the fact that she's sitting next to Sasuke, but she doesn't like that Naruto's near. So she gets up and she tells Naruto hey yo, move, leave, get away from me and all that. Naruto's like, why? And she's like, because I don't want you to be near me and all that. Naruto's like, whatever. So he stands up and he jumps, he does a backflip, and he does a backflip and he goes into the back row. And they were in the 3rd row, and there are 4 or 5, actually no, there are 5 rows in the classroom. So Naruto and her and Sasuke were in the 4th row. So Naruto, he did a backflip and he landed on the 5th row with Shikamaru and Shoji, because nobody wants to be near them because they're kind of weirdos in the classroom. So they're talking in classroom. Shikamaru, he finished because he was extremely smart, but of course he's lazy and just lazy. He gets most of them right and gets 2 of them wrong. Naruto gets he misses 4 of them, so he got 11 questions right, and they're pretty hard. Shoji, I'm gonna say that he's a pretty cool guy, so I have nothing against Shoji, so I'm gonna say that he got 9 right and 6 wrong. Yeah, that's pretty good. And these tests were all about this test, these test questions are let me give you an example. So basically they're being taught if you were how would you hold a shuriken, and it has a picture to next to the questions. It's it has an example of each different positions of holding a shuriken. One of them is right out of the 4 of them. You know what I mean? 4 are one is right out of the 3. So those type of questions, because remember they're still 8, so they don't get you'll throw a shuriken from 2 degrees north and that type of shit. They're too young for that. So class ends. Sasuke, he gets 10 out of 15. Sakura, she's a bitch, so she gets 5. So she has to stay after class and do her shit. So yeah. So yeah, she redoes the test because Iruka Sensei thinks that she could have done better, but just she was too busy bullying Naruto. So she did the test, she did better. So instead of getting 5, she got 9. And so she leaves home. Naruto and the guys, they split up. Naruto's going to the place where he meets Shisui, which is the same place that Naruto always eats in canon, which is the ramen shop. So the ramen shop, the guy, he's not there, right? I mean, the guy, he's there. He's hey yo, hey, hello Naruto, where's Shisui and all that, because they know who Shisui is, but they don't know a lot about him, just a couple things like his age, his name, and like, he's actually, I don't fucking know, dude. He's just the Jonin or again or whatever the fuck he is. So, you know, like, Naruto's like, oh, he's probably late a little bit. So, you know, they wait, you know, he doesn't show up. So, you know, Naruto's a little worried. So, Naruto, after an hour, Naruto gets up and, like, he starts, like, walking around looking for Shisui. He gets tired, so he walks to his house and sleeps. So, we're gonna skip to Shisui and Sasuke and Itachi. Shisui just gave Itachi his eye. Like, fucking Itachi, he grabbed his eye and, like, all of a sudden his eyes evolved to the fucking his Mangekyo Sharingan, not the internal because you know, yeah. So you know his eyes changed into his Mangekyo Sharingan. I will pull up a picture, but like not today because you know fucking lazy. I'm lazy. And yeah. And then like the next day, Sasuke he comes to the school all fucking angry and shit. You know. He's like, oh, like usually he's all cheerful and stuff, but like now he's like more of a depressed kind of guy, you know what I mean? So you know Naruto sees that, so he walks up on him. He's like, hey yo, you alright? And you know he's like, nah. Actually, no, he doesn't say anything. He stands up and he punches Naruto in the face. And he's like, get away from me and all that. Actually, you know he doesn't say that because like he has no reason to. Like he he tells Naruto just like he's like leave me alone and all that. You know. He doesn't, so you know, he stands and he's like, leave me alone and all that. You know, Naruto's like, no, I'm not gonna leave you alone. Sasuke tries to punch Naruto, but Naruto like fucking ducks underneath the punch. He uses his two fingers and like, he uses his fingers to like hit a pressure point underneath Sasuke's like, arm and all that. Actually, no, not that. Alright, so Naruto, he punched Sasuke in the fucking arm. Sasuke's arm was like injured because you know he's still a baby. He can't take a punch. So you know he fucking fuck. So you know he fucking sits back down even though his arm's hurting like a bitch. And then you know like after school, Naruto's walking home. Then like all of a sudden he hears people talking about like the Uchiha murder or like the murders of the Uchiha members and all that. So you know he basically goes to the morgue because he thinks that he heard someone say like all the Uchiha members were killed. And at this point they found Shisui's body, so yeah. I guess I'm gonna make it so they find his body. So yeah. So you know Naruto's running at the fucking morgue. He tells them like Shisui's name, and you know they show him his body, and you know Naruto starts crying and shit. You know, and Naruto's like he's emotionally being fucking fucked up. So you know he closes his eyes. Sorry, I just water. He closes his eyes and he's like, "What?" And by the way, like Shisui, like he's on a table that's like half Naruto's. Actually, no, fuck, no. So Naruto, he's standing up, right? He's standing up and like he puts his elbows on the part that's not covered in like Shisui's body, and like he starts like wiping off his tears and shit. And you know Naruto like. The morgue guy, the guy who basically does the morgue shit, he leaves because he doesn't want to hear a crying kid. So yeah, and then like you know the third Hokage and like Kakashi, male Kakashi and Yamato, they show up. They're like, Naruto, are you okay? And you know Naruto, he finally wipes the tears off his face. He looks at him with his fucking Sharingans. You know, his Sharingan and shit. And by the way, his eyes he only has one Tomoe, and like the second Tomoe is gonna come soon, just don't worry. So you know, the pain of losing his best friend turned his Mangekyo, like, not his Mangekyo, it made him get a Sharingan, or Sharingans in general. So, he has a one Tomoe. He looks at, fuck you dogs. So, you know, like, he looks at them and he's like, who did this? And, you know, they don't tell him. So, it's like, we don't know. He's like, we don't know. And, you know, Naruto's getting a little angry. So, he just, like, he looks at him again. And it's like Kakashi's looking at Naruto's eyes and all that. And you know, did I say Kakashi knows? Did I say Kakashi knows about Naruto being a senju and all that? And you know, the more guy and sorry, I was looking up the paper and shit. So yeah, the more guy he left because he's still not there. And Yamato, like Kakashi's like, oh, so this is the the fucking power of a senju and an Uchiha combined. Now, not the power, but you know, like, so you can get a Sharingan or Sharingans in general. When I say Sharingan, I mean Sharingans in general. I mean like both eyes in general. So I'm gonna say Sharingan. If I forget, I forget. So you know, Naruto is like, wait, what? And he like fucking pulls up a mirror, and you know he sees his eyes. He's like, wait, but I'm not an Uchiha member. I don't have a Dujutsu or whatever the fuck they call it. And you know, fucking the third Hokage's like, fine, Naruto. I think it's time for you to know your fucking what you are and like who you are and shit. Naruto's a little fucked, like a little weirded out because you know he like said what you are, like what, like I'm not human or what. And you know, sorry. So they explained to him like his heritage of being an senju and an Uchiha member. Naruto's pretty fucked up because you know. And I'm not gonna teach him the Chidori or anything like that yet. I will teach him some basic ass like wood style. See it. Alright. So basically Kakashi like says like you're gonna need to train your Sharingan and like you know Deku's like Deku's personality did a whole 360 just by seeing his best friend dead. So you know he's like whatever, like whatever. So he tries to push Kakashi aside. Kakashi he gets pushed aside, but he grabs onto Naruto's like fucking. He grabs onto Naruto's hair, not hair, but like his shoulder, and he's like, "Don't walk." Like, fuck, what would he say? He said like, fuck, I don't know what he say. He just said careful, and then, you know like Naruto would be like whatever. So he just walks out of it, right? Kakashi and like Yamato, they're a little angry. No, actually, Kakashi and Naruto won't have any issues. It's just like Kakashi understands that Naruto's going through something, and like Yamato understands. They all understand, so they don't hold it against them. So yeah. All right. So this is what happened. So time scale Naruto's like 13, right? And you know Naruto's 13. Yeah, just show me a little nipple right there, and I'll be satisfied with what I have. Sorry. So you know Naruto, he's 13 years old. Like he's friends with Sasuke, just like a little bit. So like Sasuke doesn't argue with Naruto a lot. Like they don't have that relationship in canon. Like they have like that. They have a relationship that they do in season. Like the relationship is like around the fucking is around the time of let's say around the what is it, fucking you know remember when Naruto supposedly died with all those needles going into his body and like Sasuke unlocking his Sharingan for the first time. Yeah, basically that. So like they're friends like around that point. Like their friendship's like that point. They'll get a little bit closer, but not too much. Cause you know Sasuke's gotta follow on to that. Sasuke's gotta follow on to that dark side. See? And then yeah. So Naruto, like, the girls are basically ignoring Naruto, and the guys, some of the guys, they don't care, so they're friends with Naruto, like Shoji, Shikamaru, Sasuke. Sasuke's like, he's doing his emo shit, so like, he has his like elbows on the table, his hands like pushed against each other, and like his face on his fist and all that, and, like talking like, "You're crazy, Naruto," and you know like. And a couple other guys like fucking I don't know. And by the way, Naruto hasn't used his Sharingan because he doesn't need to. He does train with it, but like he doesn't need to use his Sharingan to like against anybody because he hasn't fought anybody that's worth using it on. So, yeah. So like how like there's a window in the classroom, so Naruto looks outside the window because he's a little bored. So he's a little bored. So he sees this foxy woman who you could clearly see her nipples through. Like she's wearing this sexy ass shirt that you could see her nipples through. So he gets a little hard, right? So yeah, he gets a little hard. Nobody notices it because he's like his lower half is underneath the desk, and like unless you're looking at that part, you won't notice it. And let's just say he's packing a 13-inch hot dog. All right, so yeah. So he sees her like bend over and all that because she like like that fruit that she was eating in canon with like in the fucking, remember, like she said like, oh, like actually no, remember the candy that she had in the fucking in the Death Forest? Remember, like she had like the fucking little stick with like little balls in it or whatever. So yeah, she was eating that, and like she accidentally dropped her plate, and like her plate landed onto the ground, and Naruto saw he saw underneath her skirt to see like a sort of thong, and her vagina was eating her thong up. So Naruto's fucking quick, so he beats his meat real quick because remember, he's an Uchiha, and Uchihas are attractive as fuck, and I don't know about their horniness or whatever, but Naruto's just stupid dude. So he beats his meat real quick, like he rubbed, like to everybody else it looked like he scratched his balls or whatever, like rubbed his dick or whatever, just like a quick second. But for him, he did like 20 strokes, and then boom, 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 nutted. There you go. And it was like, he's like, oh, that felt good. And then like the class ended because it was like it was the last day of school, not last day, but it was about it. The day was about to end basically, and like the Aruka Sensei is like, oh, you're fuck, I forgot about the Mitsuki part. Remember, like, where Naruto finds out he has Nine-Tailed Chakra or whatever the Nine-Tails. So time, like, back to the future. So Naruto, he passed, and Mitsuki, he's like, hey Naruto, you forgot your other test. And Naruto looks back at him, he's like, what other test? And and like, he's like, oh, the test. Remember, just to grab the staff or whatever from the third Hokage. Naruto's like a little gullible because it's a teacher. He doesn't understand he won't understand he doesn't know why a teacher would lie to him. So so of course he's gonna follow his teacher's like rules and like listen to him because his teachers never lied to him. So yeah. So it's late at night, Naruto steals the staff or whatever. He goes into the forest and he trains, and he sees a particular jutsu that he learned is called wood style. Because remember, Naruto learned a jutsu from fucking the fucking little that little scroll or whatever. Actually, not like fucking, that shit's big, the thick scroll. So he opens it and like he sees he sees some jutsus. He's like, oh, clone jutsu, like flying Raijin and all that. And he sees like all the way at the end, he sees wood style, and like he checks on it. So he tries it out because he's like curious. So he checks underneath wood style to see what the requirements are to use wood style. So he sees that you need earth and water style to do it. So of course he's gonna try because he's Naruto. So he does the hand signs, he does wood style, and like he makes wood come out of his hands and all that. So that shit extends, destroys the tree. So yeah. And Mitsuki just got there to see Naruto destroy a tree with his arm like made of wood. And he's a little scared, so he's like, Naruto, so like, did you have the scroll and all that? So, he tries to trick Naruto, like, oh, like, you pass and all that. He tries to walk away, but fucking Naruto, he's smart, because, he figured it out because he was acting a little sketchy. So, what he did was, he used the fire style, fireball jutsu. He hit, Mizuri, or whatever his fucking name is. And, like, he burnt it to a crisp, so he's dead. Alright, cool. Naruto returned the thing. He explained, like, why he took it. They, like, said, oh, it's alright. You're manipulated. It's not your fault. Okay, so back to the timeline. So, Aruka Sensei, he's like, oh, your team captains or whatever, like, your fucking teachers will be, your teachers will be Kakashi, like, Team 7, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura. Sakura's, like, angry and happy in the same time because she has to be partners with Sasuke, and she has to be partners with Naruto, who she hates still. But yeah. And then, yeah, Naruto leaves real quick, and, like, everybody's, like, kind of, like, a little, like, what, like, why is he leaving so fast and all that, like, But then, so, like, they just, like, don't worry about it, because, it's Naruto, he's strong, he could do whatever he wants and all that. He's responsible for what he does. So, he goes outside, and he sees the girl, he sees Anko. Yeah. So, he sees Anko walking into the restaurant, and he runs into the restaurant, he's like, hey, yo, like, she sits down, she's like, I will have this, I'll have this, I'll have that. And, and, like, fucking Naruto comes, and he sits next to her, he's like, hey, yo, you want to go on a date? She's like, nah. And actually, no, she says yes, and no, she's a little, actually, no, fuck that, no. No, so he walks up on her, and he's like, hey, yo, he's, like, real slick with the words, too, so he's like, hey, yo, you wanna, come with me to the fucking restroom? And, Anko, she's a flirt, so she's like, yes, papi. Oh, homo, no, I'm not gay, no, but that's what she says. She's like, yes. Give me a second, I'm fucking... You have to understand why I'm doing this. Fuck, I need to drink a Bud Light right now, dude. Or I'm on double, whatever. Keep my mind off this shit. No homo. So, she says, yes, papi, like, in a Spanish way. Oh, and then, yeah, and then Naruto gets turned on by this, so, like, and by the way, he's wearing this cloak. He's wearing this cloak, by the way. So, he's not wearing the normal green, orange shit, no. He's wearing this. He's wearing a cloak. So, he has a boner, but you can't see it because his cloak is covering it. So, he basically, like, he grabs her hand, they go to the restroom and shit. Fuck. Whatever, they go to the restroom. Like, if you're, like wondering, like, why do I always put them in the restroom? It's because, for me, that's a romantic place, because, that's not a romantic place, but, like, it's a pretty good place, right? So, he basically puts, he closes the door and all that, and they go into a family restroom, so, yeah. They go into a family restroom, he locks the door, he tells her to go on her knees, she goes on her knees, he grabs her head, he undoes his button, he takes off his fucking, he takes off his cloak, and, like, he throws it on the ground, and he grabs her head, and he starts, like, making her suck his dick. So she's, like, sucking it. And by the way, this is not the ship, but this is just for Naruto to get the experience. Alright, so yeah. So, he's, like, he grabs her head, and he grabs her hair. Yeah, he grabs the hair that's not into a ponytail, and he grabs it, and he, like, puts it on the ponytail, you know what I mean? And he starts, like, grabbing it, like, he grabs the ponytail, starts, like, pulling on it, and he also grabs her head and starts, like, making her suck it even more, so she stops sucking, and Deku, like, basically just, and by the way, he's a 12-inch hot dog, so, and I would say she could do it because her snake thing, or whatever. So, she extends her mouth, so she's, like, like, taking that shit like a champ. She's going, like, she's gagging that shit, Deku, like, no, fucking not Deku. Naruto, he pulls out, he nuts in her mouth because he doesn't want to nut, like, while his dick's, like, in the back, like, in the back, past the nubula. So he pulls out as much as he can. It hits her nubula, she gags, Naruto tells her to stand up, so she stands up. He pushes her to the sink where you wash her hands and all that. He puts her hands onto the sink, the side of the sink, and, like, he puts his hands on her waist, and he starts, like, going to town, dude. He goes in and out, 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 in and out. And yeah, he grabs her from the waist and he goes in and out, in and out, in and out. He pulls out, of course, he nuts on her back, and you can see the cum like sleeping through her back and all that. And he sticks it in her asshole. He starts going in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. He nuts, and then he carries her. So now she's like facing him, and he's facing her, and her legs are on his shoulders, and like Deku's like not Deku, like Naruto's carrying her by her ass and by her fucking shoulders and all that whatever. And he lifts her ass up and like it's smacking down against his dick, not against it, but it's smacking down to like make him like fuck her. So he's like fucking her. He of course lifts her up higher than usual and nuts outside, not in her. And then he basically does the same shit, and except he puts in her asshole. So he does the same shit. He nuts in her asshole because he has no reason to nut in her, to pull out because she can't get pregnant. And then Naruto, he grabs his cloak, he places it straight, he lays down, and then she stands on top of his body, not top of he lays down, and she's like her body's above Naruto's head. So she squats down, and Naruto grabs her by the legs, by like the thighs, and starts like eating her out. So she's moaning and shit. She like puts her fingers against her mouth and starts making her gag and shit. And she nuts and he eats it. And then Naruto's fuck, fuck Naruto. Naruto stopped for a second because yeah, why not? He stopped for a second and like he was gonna continue eating her out the same way, but she told him like, oh no, try this way better. So she told him that like for you to do it better is to stick your finger in there. It's finger her and like also tongue her in the same time and shit. It's better, I guess. And then she leans forward to suck his dick. So she leans forward and she gives him that. If you guys know what I'm doing, you guys know what I'm doing. If you don't, then whatever. You're new to this channel, maybe. So she's already that fucking. I thought I heard my brother knock on the door or something. So she gives him that Samsung Spin Cycle 3000 Underwater City of Atlantis Wetness Level Double Decker Pecker Wecker Glug Glug Glizzy Gobbler Meat Whacker Wee Wee Hammer Sloppy Toppy Ash Cash God. Love Ash Cash, by the way. Love her, dude. Like seriously, she's an inspirer to young women. And that took a lot out of me, so I'm gonna drink some water. So yeah, he nuts in her mouth, she swallows it. They both stand up and like they're both facing each other. They walk towards each other. Naruto like basically puts his dick between her thighs, and like he grabs her ass and like he grabs her ass with two hands, and like he's like squeezing it and slapping it in the same time, and he's also like getting a thigh job. So she's like moving her ass back and forth to like rub against it with her, and like Deku's like not the fuck, but Naruto, he's still squeezing her ass and like he's like smacking it. He uses his left hand and he removes his right hand from her ass, stops squeezing it, and like he grabs her boob and he starts like twisting the nipple and all that. He starts like twisting it, and doing some other shit with it, and then yeah, he nuts, and then he's like, alright, let me try something, She's like, okay, and then Naruto grabs her boobs and all that, and he starts like, motorboats them bitches, yeah, there you go. Yeah, and then she started moaning and shit, cause, that she couldn't moan. Fuck. I'll try to do 2 more 18 pluses. So, yeah. And Naruto, he puts his like cloak onto the sink. Actually, not the sink, but like onto a toilet. But he puts the seat cover down. Just yeah. So he sits down and she gives him a boob job real quick. So yeah, she gives him like a boob job. So like she puts her boobs to each other, like like she puts his dick on between her boobs, closes it, uses her left hand to grab her left boob and her right boob, and like starts like squeezing them together to give him a boob job. And like she's also like lifting her chest up and down to give him a boob job. And like she's using that one hand that she has free. She's using that one hand to like that's free to like she's using it to like twist the tip of his dick and all that, like she like twists it, like starts like doing some random shit with it. And then she puts her mouth on it, and then she starts like giving him that slip, like with her tongue. She uses her tongue to go all around the tip of his penis, and like he's about to nut, and then she pulls out Midori. Like Naruto thought that she stopped, she gave up already, and like all of a sudden he feels a flick to the tip of his penis, and like boom, that set him off like a nuke, bro. He busted that shit. It squirted all over her face and all that, and Naruto he told like, oh damn, my bad, she's like, it's alright. So she stood up, Naruto stood up, like Naruto grabbed her face and all that. He started like cleaning her face with a napkin, and then like he was about to clean a piece, like a little bit of sperm that's on her cheek. He's about to grab a napkin to like clean it, but she says no, let me fix it. And he's like, okay. So she grabs it with 2 fingers, not grabs, but like sweeps it up and like puts it in her mouth and she eats it. And Naruto's like, whoa, you're good, like you're hot and all that. She's like, thank you. And she says, well, this has been fun, but like don't expect this to be a relationship. And Naruto's like, oh, okay, it's okay, I fully understand this. And they go their separate ways. Naruto later, like 2 hours pass, right? They meet up with Team Kakashi, or like they're waiting. Kakashi's like, hello and all that, like I'm here. Sakura throws a tantrum, like, you're fucking late. You don't deserve to be a teacher. And like actually no, she doesn't say that, but she's like, oh mister, you're late. And he's like, whatever. And you know how Sakura does that shit with her. You know how Sakura does that shit in the canon, like with her mind. She's like, oh no, Naruto, don't pull the prank on the teacher. And in her mind, she's like, yeah, pull the prank on the teacher and all that. When it came to Kakashi and all that. Yeah, it's like her other, like her real personality. But in this one, sorry. But in this one, she's not afraid to expose her real personality, not like in canon. Okay, so Kakashi sees Naruto, and he's like, oh Naruto, hello, nice to see you again. Naruto looks at him, and he's like, oh, it's you again, and all that. And that happens. They have that little conversation. They're like, oh, like, hey Naruto, are you have you done some training, or have you learned any new jutsus and all that? He's like, yeah. So yeah, I'll explain this right now, just give me a second. So what ends up happening is like, Kakashi, he does the same shit. Like he tells them to like introduce themselves, like say what they like, and say what the same shit that they do in canon. So Sasuke, he goes on his emo phase again, and he's like, I want to kill a certain someone. I also want to restore my clan. Yeah. Sakura, she goes on that phase, and she's like, oh, I love, she's like, I love, and then she stops, and then she's like, I like to, and then she giggles, and and then like she's like, and I hate Naruto, and she tries to throw a punch at Naruto, but Naruto, he catches her fist, and Naruto's not even looking at her, right? Like he's like sitting down, but he catches her fist by instinct. You know what I mean? He grabs it and he twists it, like he squeezes it, and like not to the point where it'll crack her wrist or anything like that. No, he grabs her wrist and he grabs it with a firm grip, and like he twists it, and she too twists. So she did a full on 360 on like fucking not even trying to jump or anything like that. Just like she's like standing straight, and like she's a little bent to the floor punching someone, but like You know, she got twisted, so she fell back down, and you know, she fell on her side, and she started like squinting in pain. Saw like fucking Sasuke is like whatever. And then you know, like Naruto didn't expect that to happen, so he's like, "Oh, you deserved it." So yeah, Sakura, she's inside her mind, she's like, she wants to cry because you know, bitch. Kakashi, he doesn't care because you know she kind of deserved it because you know she just attacked someone. So if you ain't ready to throw them hands, don't throw them at all. But if you do, then that's pretty ballsy. Whew. I probably won't go as far as I say, but I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna leave off where I left off yesterday. So yeah, why not? Tamari. Yeah, by the way, that's the ship. Tamari. She's gonna be introduced in the next episode. So the 18 plus on this one was just for experiment. You know, an experiment, like, you know, just to like give Naruto some experience before he hits the real thing with a real relationship. Meaning, that's what I mean. But don't worry, I'm gonna get into the fight. So, Sasuke and like Kakashi like tell like oh about yeah sorry Naruto, he says I want to be the first, like, I want to be the number fuck no the number one hero. He says I want to be the hero fuck I want to be a Hokage, right? Like Sakura laughs, she's like, yeah, you Hokage, yeah, the day that happens is the day the village gets destroyed again by you. And then you know, like, Naruto gets a little irritated, so he flashes his fucking Sharingans. He looks at her, and he's like fucking angry too, cause you know, like, he's like very like, when it comes to someone calling him like a monster, the nine-tailed fox, or anything like that, like, that ticks him off. Like, that literally, like, he could be the happiest guy one day. If you bring it up, like, if you bring like, oh, you're a monster to him, he'll do a 360 in the fucking feelings and emotions. He'll be a dick to you. So, you know, he looks at her with both his Sharingans, with one Tomoe's and shit, and he's like, what did you say again? And, you know, she's scared because, you know, like, that was fucking intimidating. And, you know, she's scared because, you know, like, goddamn, like, who wouldn't be? He's fucking, every fucking Uchiha member, all of them who did that ended up getting, you know, the people that they did it to they shit their pants, alright? You know, Sasuke sees the eyes and he's like, yo, wait, what? You have the Sharingans? But you weren't an Uchiha though, and they fucking and you know, and then you know, fucking Naruto explains that I am an Uchiha, but you know, yeah, I'm also a senju. Not like Sasuke doesn't know what that is, so you know he doesn't he doesn't want to know what it is because you know he doesn't hear. He got taken back by the Uchiha part, so yeah. And you know, yeah. Naruto, he's strong, but he's not strong enough to compete against Kakashi. Not yet to that level. You know what I mean? So he's like, so yeah, he's like, he tells Kakashi, he's like, hey, yo, when are we gonna, you know, do our first thing or whatever? He says tomorrow. So he tells him to go there at 5 p.m. without eating breakfast. So, you know, that happens. Naruto, he doesn't eat breakfast, but he has a high metabolism. So, by the way, Naruto, he's physically strong, he's lean, and he has like a six-pack. Everybody else has like, I'm gonna give a few people six-packs in this one, right? Or an eight-pack if I feel like it. So, Naruto, he has a six-pack. Shikamaru has a six-pack. Kakashi has an 8-pack because, yeah, why not? He's older and he's having more, like, exercise and shit, so yeah. And Hashirama has an 8-pack. Madara has a 6-pack, but he's strong enough to be at that, like, he has a 6-pack, but but he's actually like he's as fit as a person with an 8-pack, and an 8-pack is fucking impossible to get. But yeah, I would give Shoji a 6-pack, but you know he's fat, so yeah, I can't change that. So yeah. So you know the next day comes, he's late, like Kakashi's late like usual, and like he like basically says like, oh, you're gonna fight me, like you need to get these 2 bells and shit. So yeah. And then yeah. Sorry. So, by the way, if you can't see, he has Sharingans. Look, you can see the one Tomoe right there, the second, and then like the third, like on the very corner. So yeah. And then shit, how did I say it? Okay, so yeah. He gets there and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm late. I missed my bus or whatever." They're like, "Whatever, just like let's do what we gotta do." So you know, he explains like, "Oh, you need to get the bells for me, and like you need to get on between like this time." I mean, you know, yeah, that's basically the same shit that he does in canon. So yeah. And you know, Kakashi, he tells everybody like, "Yeah, 5 seconds to go wherever you want." So you know, they go. Naruto, he stays because he wants to see how strong Kakashi is. So yeah, he basically actually no. When Naruto showed his Sharingan, he only showed it for a split second, so it was enough to scare Sakura, because yeah, but like, but Sasuke, he didn't see the Sharingans because he was behind Sakura and Sakura was between them, so he would have to like move a step to see what happened. But like Deku, like Naruto had his Sharingan for like a split second, so Sasuke wasn't fast enough. By the way, I know I said I was gonna go like for 2 hours, but actually, fuck that. I'm not gonna do that. Okay, so yeah, and then, alright, yeah. So you know, Deku, like Naruto, he basically says, "All right, come on, Kakashi, let's fight." And like Kakashi's like, "Are you sure you don't want to go, you know, hide and whatever?" Naruto's like, "Nah, I want to see what you're made of and all that." So you know, Naruto, he pulls out his Sharingan and shit, like his Sharingan. Remember, I said Sharingan plural for both. So you know, he fucking whips out his Sharingans, and like Kakashi, he doesn't use his Sharingan, not yet. So he basically starts fighting Naruto, but Naruto's like he's pretty good. So yeah, he's doing good enough to that point where he's gonna, you know, him and Kakashi are going hand in hand, right? So if Kakashi were to use his Sharingan, he'll be like 10 times better. But with his Mangekyo, he'll be like 20 times better because he could teleport shit. And once Naruto gets his shit, ooh, fuck. Yeah. Naruto's making Kakashi use his full power. Fuck, I don't know where I'm going with this shit. Alright, so this is what's gonna happen. So Naruto, dude, fucking people don't know how to drive, dude. They're making their cars fucking useless by driving like that. So yeah, whatever. So Kakashi, he uses a Chidori blade because he's getting a Chidori blade, right? So Kakashi, he's using a taijutsu with Naruto. Him and him are going blow for blow. So Naruto, he throws a fucking punch. So Kakashi goes underneath that punch, but Naruto, he goes underneath the punch. Then Kakashi was gonna go for his stomach. So Deku, Naruto, he looked like he was gonna punch Kakashi right in the stomach, right? I mean, right in the face, but actually not in the stomach. But Naruto lifted his fist at the right time and pushed his fist up and uppercutted that motherfucker, dude. And fucking Kakashi, he got sent flying. Not sent flying. Whatever, he got pushed up a little bit, but then yeah, he uses a substitute jutsu, and like all of a sudden he appeared right behind Naruto, and then Naruto looked behind him, and like Kakashi landed a blow. Naruto got sent flying like 3 feet. Naruto got back up. And yeah. And then, like, all of a sudden, like, Kakashi, he pulls out his Sharingan because, he's like, oh, this kid's gonna be a lot tougher than I thought. So, he pulls it out, like, and by the way, Sasuke, he got taken care of. He's the same shit happened to him, like, in canon. Sakura, she fainted because, yeah. Sasuke got pushed down by a clone that Kakashi made. So, yeah. And, yeah, he pulled out his Sharingan, and Naruto's like, fuck, I'm done. So, he throws a punch, but then, like, Kakashi, like, fucking, like, twists, like, he grabs his fist and twists it, and Naruto's, like, arm starts, like, twisting his shit, and then fucking Kakashi pulls him in by the fist, and fucking out, like, knees him right in the fucking stomach. Naruto, like, he's pushed against the ground, right? And, Naruto's like, he's like, damn it, and all that. He's like fucking smacking the ground. And then, Naruto's like, alright, I got this. And, Kakashi's like, oh. And, fucking Naruto pulls off the best shit ever. Naruto's like, wood style. Wood, I don't know, wood sedation or some shit like that. And, like, 10 pulls come out of Naruto's, come out of his right arm, and like they go all around Kakashi, and Kakashi's like, what the hell? So he's like trying to like Chidori through them. So like he uses his Chidori, and like he's gonna like use a Chidori to cut through the wood, but then the wood like eats the chakra, so like there's no chakra. Kakashi's like, what the hell? So Naruto uses all those wood things, and like he pushes them against each other, so like it's like wrapping around him. You know what I mean? Like when they wrap around him, he's like fucking sedated. And then, yeah. Like Deku gets, like Naruto, he gets rewarded, and he's tired because the wood style is a lot of energy to use like in a battle, because Naruto didn't train a lot with it because he heard about like people using wood style got fucked up. So yeah. Alright, so yeah. And then Naruto, he goes on the ground, and then he starts like grabbing his eyes and shit, and he's like, damn it, my eyes. And Kakashi tells him like, oh, your eyes, huh? And you overuse them. And Naruto looks at him, he's like, wait, what do you mean and shit? Sorry. He's like, what do you mean and all that? And like Kakashi explains to him like your eyes your eyes get tired too of using like trying to predict your foes or your enemies' movements. And then and like Naruto, he's like, so this is the consequence for that, and he's like, yes. So like Naruto undoes the jutsu and shit. So like the fucking like the wood. I'm not sure what happens if someone cancels it out, but I'm gonna say that the chakra stops getting eaten from Kakashi. So Kakashi uses his lightning blade to cut through it. Right? So, he cuts through the blade, and he puts bandages right around Naruto's eyes and shit. Like, because his eyes were bleeding because he overused them bitches a lot. So, yeah. And by the way, his Hashirama cells, if he were to get, like, his Hashirama, whatever. His Hashirama cells, if he were to get injured, he'll heal fast. So, yeah, there you go. So, the Ninetales, he slips a little bit of chakra through the gate, and to heal Naruto because he doesn't want to die. Yeah. And then fucking Sakura, she wakes up from her hallucination. Not her hallucination, but like she wakes up from her failureness, and she's like, oh my god, what happened, all that. And then, fucking, like, she sees, like, Naruto with his eyes bandaged and shit, so She takes that moment. She tries to punch Naruto, but then she's stopped by Kakashi. And you know, Kakashi's like, "What are you doing?" and all that. And then she was gonna punch him, but like she didn't. But she didn't go to the position of she was gonna punch him. You know, it looked like she was just rushing towards him. And then Kakashi's like, "What are you doing?" and all that. And you know, she's like, "Oh, I was just gonna help him." And you know, like he said, "Yeah, okay, go." Like I got him. Just like go somewhere else. And then she's angry at this, so you know she just walks away and tries to find she tries to find fucking what's that motherfucker's name? Sasuke. There you go. She finds Sasuke. She digs him out, and you know they go back to the site. And then you know like Kakashi says, like he explains like, well, this practice was just meant for you guys to like learn teamwork, but it seems that Naruto was strong enough to, you know, like, take me on. So, you know, Sakura, she's pissed off, but, like, by the way, fucking, the only reason why Naruto won was because, the wood style was absorbing or eating the chakra from Kakashi. So, Kakashi had a shit ton of chakra, but, like, the wood style was taking a shit ton of chakra from him. You know what I mean? So yeah, if Naruto didn't do that or think of the jutsu earlier, then he would have been fucked, alright? And by the way, like, Kakashi was only using like 10% of his real power, so he wasn't expecting that. And, actually, no, using like 35% of, actually, no, 50%. 50% of his real power. And, yeah. And that's where I'm gonna leave it off, guys. Sorry, this is probably not enough, but yeah, whatever.